California. And the crowd of 61,500 will be focused on the NFL's hottest superstar. This is the city, Los Angeles, California. Our beat, the home of the stars. Magic Johnson's unparalleled creativity redefined his sport and led the Lakers to 5 world titles in the 80s. The great one at the tender age of 28, Wayne Gretzky is already hockey's all-time scoring king. Oral Hershiser for 59 straight scoreless innings. He was better than any pitcher in the history of Major League Baseball. LA's newest superstar is only a part-time resident, only a part-time employee, but he's a full-time superstar. In the history of sport, Bo Jackson's accomplishments already stand alone. Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego, sold out for the Chargers and the Los Angeles Raiders. A Raiders win tonight would keep them in pace with Denver. The Broncos won a squeaker over Kansas City today and own one of the best records in the game at 8-2. A victory for the Chargers would get them even with the Chiefs and the Seahawks. Good evening, everybody. Mike Patrick along with Joe Theismann, and it's great to have Shell, and they've won 4 of 5. What is the difference?
The difference simply, Mike, is attitude. The Raiders are playing what they call Raider attitude. On offense, it's very simple. It's an attack offense. Whether you give the ball to Bo, whether you throw it to Willie or Mervin, they're going to go down the field vertically. On defense, it's a pressure defense. Howie Long is like a Howie Long possessed. Man-to-man pressure-style defense. Relentless, unmerciful. That's Raider football.
Shell, the Hall of Fame offensive tackle, longtime assistant here. He has made the most of his opportunity. 4 wins in 5 games. Sometimes it's hard to believe that a change at the top can make that much difference. But in talking to the Raiders, Joe, it's obvious to us that it certainly has.
It really has. It's just absolutely incredible. I mean, you look at this football team on film from their first 4 football games, and you just cannot believe the difference. One thing I think, it's simplicity. Not that there aren't as many plays, but everybody each week has got the same set of plays. They know exactly what their assignment is. I think it's a simple case of the Raiders believing that they had a lot of talent and just going out and saying, look, we can run faster than people, we can run harder than people, we can hit harder than people. Let's just go do it.
Everyone has been very careful not to take pot shots at Mike Shanahan, but they have said it was not Raider football when he was here. With Art Shell in the saddle, it is Raider football again.
And that's not a knock against Mike Shanahan. Mike Shanahan brought in a philosophy, a little more complex system, which was difficult for men to grasp. Very simply, Al Davis wanted to take a look at it. He took a look at it. He felt it wasn't getting the job done, so he went back to what he knows best, vertical football.
Chris Barr, the 14-year veteran out of Penn State, will kick off for the San Diego Chargers. As you saw just moments ago, they have not done a very good job on kickoff coverage this year. Stephon Adams and Tim Ware are back deep. The two best return men the Raiders have had, Tim Brown and Bobby Joe Edmonds, both on injured reserve. Of course, Brown, one of the best that has ever played the game at that position. We are set to go from San Diego in a game that grows in importance for the Raiders because Denver won again today. They need a win tonight to stay 2 games back in the AFC West. Adams at the goal line to the 24-yard line. Jay Schroeder will start for the injured Steve Berline. He has struggled, completing less than 50% with more interceptions than touchdowns. So the logical idea, give it to Bo. He's only played 4 games. He's already 6th in the AFC in rushing. He leads the NFL with a gaudy 7.4-yard average per carry. Up front, an average line has been improved by rookie Steve Wisniewski, an exceptionally strong player. He has the potential to be one of the best the Raiders have ever had. Play action to Bo. Just the way they started a week ago, then they dump it to Bo. Look at the speed as he got around Billy Ray Smith and gets the ball out to the 37-yard line. Gain of 12 for a first down. On defense, the Chargers have seen that club be the strength of the team. Lee Williams, a starter in last year's Pro Bowl, 7 sacks this year. Leslie O'Neal has moved from the line to outside linebacker. He's playing like he did in '86 before a terrible knee injury. He had 3.5 sacks last week against the Eagles. The secondary has played well, 14 interceptions against 16 all of last year. Gil Byrd, the 7-year veteran, tied for the AFC lead. He has 5. This time they'll give it to Bo on the delay, and he burrows into the line across the 40 to the 41. Nose tackle Joe Phillips in on the stop.
Every time Bo Jackson gets the ball, Mike, we stand here and hold our breath. 61,000 plus hold their breath. I'm sure everybody watching on television said, when is he going to break another one? That's something that concerns the Charger defense. They don't feel like they can shut Bo. You're not going to shut Bo Jackson down. You just want to contain him for the evening.
He is a marvel. Split backs behind Schroeder. 4-man rush and pressure. Schroeder dumps it to Fernandez. Fernandez up to the 44. Gain of only 4 yards. Billy Ray Smith, the outside linebacker, on the coverage.
Jay Schroeder continues to grow more and more with confidence. It seems like this whole new coaching change has given him a new lease on life.
3rd down and 3. They'll go with 4 wide receivers. Tim Ware, number 80, 89. Mike Alexander in there to join Galt and Fernandez. Schroeder with time, throws short and incomplete. And that's been his problem throughout his career, is the short passing game.
Well, it isn't even the short passing game. What happens with Jay Schroeder is, and it's really, oddly enough, it's a good thing for a quarterback. If he's going to miss passes, he's going to miss them low, Mike. He's not going to throw them over somebody's head down the field where they can get picked off. So, yeah, it was an incompletion, but he doesn't get hurt. The defense gets to go out on the field.
Jeff Gossett into punt to Dana Brinson, the rookie out of Nebraska. Nice punt return average this year, 12.9 so far. High floating kick. Brinson waits at the 10. No fair catch. And he's buried by Stephon Adams, who is the demon on special teams. A punt of 44 yards, a loss of 1 on the return. 12:56 to go first quarter. We're scoreless in San Diego. Their own 13. Jim McMahon brings them out. Set back behind him, Marion Butts, number 35. And it looked like the Chargers jumped early on the right side of their offensive line. Jerry Markwright, our referee tonight, and here's the call.
False start, number 74, offense, first down.
Brett Miller, the 7-year veteran,
Top right part of your screen, number 74, third man in. You see him start out early. Well, he realizes that he's got number 75, Howie Long, on his inside shoulder, and he knows how quick Howie is. He figures I may as well get out quick.
Ball marked back just inside the 4. The original line of scrimmage was the 9. Butts, the big running back. Broke a couple of tackles, gets out to the 8. There is a flag down. Mike Harden came up from the strong safety to make the tackle, but they'll bring this back because of holding. So 2 offensive plays and 2 penalties. Not a great start for San Diego. McMahon, of course, gets the start. He led the Chargers last week in the big upset at Philadelphia. McMahon has won 38 of 46 starts. First down, but it's 16 at this point after 2 penalties. McMahon to throw from the end zone. And overthrows Wayne Walker, the rookie out of Texas Tech, and McMahon points it himself. Raiders' rebirth includes Howie Long, coming off an injury-plagued 88. He's back to the level that earned him 5 straight Pro Bowls. The linebackers are the suspect group, although former lineman Greg Townsend has established himself as a big pass rusher. He's 3rd in the conference with 8.5 sacks. The secondary is thin, but they've played well as a group. Terry McDaniel, who broke a leg during his rookie year, has the potential to follow in the tradition of the great Raider corners. 2nd and 16. McMahon to throw again. Plenty of time and deep down the sideline again, intended for Wayne Walker, badly overthrown that time.
It looks like things for the Chargers are just not working, Mike. They get a couple of penalties.
When McMahon came to this team, line coach Larry Bechtel told his offensive line, do whatever you have to do to protect the quarterback. And here's what the Chargers have done on 3rd down. They are in the lower half of the league in that department. McMahon under pressure, and he misses Anthony Miller, who ran a little delay out of the backfield.
All day long, McMahon's going to have to be concerned with number 93. There he is against Brett Milder. Greg Townsend does a little spinner move. He starts outside, gets Miller to commit, lean a little bit, then gets his body on him, spins back inside, and puts McMahon to the ground.
Hank Alisic checking the back line of that end zone. If he steps on it, it's a safety. Alisic, at the age of 30, is already a 13-year veteran out of the Canadian Football League. Started playing pro ball when he was 17 in high school. Stephon Adams waits at the Charger 44. Got it out of there. Adams at the 43. No place to go. And the Chargers, after having to hold back to protect the punter, did a good job getting downfield. Martin Bayless made the tackle, a 1-yard return after a clutch 41. Anything else in San Diego. When the Raiders start past midfield, they are dead last in the NFL at taking advantage of it. Right now, they'll start at the San Diego 42. Dalton Fernandez both to the near side. Bo trying to get outside, cut it back. Boy, give him a seam, and he's got 10 yards. Didn't look like that play had anything.
Well, you know what it does is it keeps everybody at bay. What they want to do is they don't want to commit. Now watch Smith. Steve Smith, number 35, kicks out Billy Ray. Now Billy Ray, see, what he's trying to do right there is he is trying to just wait for his teammates to come over and help out. The first guy's got to sort of give Bo a chance to be a little hesitant. That time they just didn't get the help that was necessary.
Gil Bird went for the ball. Sam Seal had to make the tackle. Bo dances his way down to the 25. Lee Williams and Joe Phillips. Adam Plummer was also in there. Got a lot of help.
You know, when you look across that front line of the Chargers, Mike, you got Grossman's a rookie. Figueroa at linebacker's got 2 years. Joe Phillips is 4. Gary Plummer's got 4. Lee Williams at 6. Of course, O'Neal at 3. And then Billy Ray is sort of like the senior member there, and he's only got 7 years in. This is a team that, if they're struggling now, they won't be in the too distant future.
Last 7 games, they've done a great job allowing only 14 points a game, and the only team in the league giving up less than 20 over that 7-game span. Second and 8, Bo gets the toss. Cuts it back. Took a big hit from Gil Byrd, but got it down to the 20-yard line. Bo Jackson is a part-time player. Hasn't been doing this for very long, but look at what he has already established. He is the only player ever in the NFL to have 2 runs longer than 90 yards. Got one 2 years ago of 91. A couple of weeks ago for 92. And think of all the great players in this game, not only the 80s, but all time. And he's the only guy who ever did it.
People say, you know, I mean, we kidded around about his weaknesses. He really doesn't have any that have been exposed yet in the game of football.
3rd and 3. 2 tight ends. And Bo will try the weak side. Seal couldn't get it. Outruns Plummer to the sideline.
Add another notch to what he's able to do. Not only can he run away from you, watch this straight arm that he puts on Sammy Seal. You're going to be coming right in your living room now. Right now, Seal's in a good hitting position. See, look at that arm. Look, right on the hat. Just pushes him down to the ground. Says, well, I got enough for the first down. Let me take it right out of bounds. I can't turn the corner.
235 pounds with 4.2 speed. 5 carries tonight, 33 yards. He will come out of the ball game. Marcus Allen, of course, is injured, so he's not playing. And Vance Mueller is in there as the deep man. And Mueller will get the carry. Another guy who has good size and excellent speed. Bert Grossman, the rookie out of Pitt, makes the tackle. There's Marcus on the sideline. He's on injured reserve.
Figures he sort of talking like he may be able to come back next week. Probably not next week. Looking at a couple weeks recovering from that knee injury.
What will happen when he comes back?
That's a question that everybody wants to know. I mean, what's going to happen is Bo's going to be on the bench a little bit. Marcus is going to be on the bench a little bit. And nobody's really going to be happy.
2nd and 7. Mueller. Lester Lyles, the veteran out of Virginia, comes up to make the tackle along the line of scrimmage.
Let me show you.
Schrader dumps it to Smith, and Smith wrapped up by Gil Byrd at the 6-yard line. And there's a flag down. The call will go against the Raiders, but if they decline it, it will be 4th down.
I would say they have to decline it.
Holding, number 63, offense. Decline, 4th down.
That was John Giesick. So Art Shell will go for the field goal.
Left guard, number 63. There you see him. Gets the hand out in front. They run a little twist. And with that twist, what they mean by a twist, the end goes inside, the tackle goes outside, and this time the guard made the tackle.
Jeff Jaeger, 10 out of 17 on the year. Gossett holding for him. This will be a 23-yard attempt. And Jaeger has put the Los Angeles Raiders on the board with 8:10 to go first quarter. The Raiders have taken the lead over the Chargers 3-0. Of course, it all starts with Michigan on Saturday afternoon, marching toward the Rose Bowl this year, having a great season. Knocked off Illinois. Jaeger, who made the field goal, kicking to Anthony Miller and Jamie Holland, 2 of the best in the NFL a year ago. Neither has broken one this season. And this one will go out of bounds.
Hooked it just a little. Now they're going to get the ball in the 35. There you take a look at Jay. I mean, why do kickers get reputations? Look at, turn around here a second. Turn around. There you go. Take that off. Look at that helmet that he wears. I mean, it's like a toy.
Awarded Handed to the receivers.
You know, the face mask is down covering his chin. This guy does not have any intention of hitting anybody going the other way. But that's what kickers are for. And I'm not rapping kickers because every time I go someplace, the kickers pick on me. It's just like the face mask doesn't fit football.
Jaeger a little embarrassed as he kicked that one out of bounds. San Diego's option, they take the ball at their own 35-yard line. 4 wide receivers set, and they'll give it to Butts. Butts bounced off of Lyndon King, number 52, picked up a couple of more, brought down by Emmanuel King, 92. Scoring drive, 37 yards.
He did that. He's really talented. Could you imagine looking in the mirror? You ever try and look into it? Everything looks backward in the mirror. I don't know how he did it.
I think he got some help. McMahon, 2nd and 5. Threw behind his intended receiver, Joe Caravello, the H-back. Caravello almost made the catch. There's another flag down. Preliminary signal is holding against San Diego.
What kind of problems does Howie Long create? What happens is Howie Long is so quick off the ball, his job is to occupy 2 people. And that's what he does on this play, and one of them has to hold him.
Holding, number 65. Offense, 2nd down.
David Richards, the right guard.
There he is, right side of your screen, number 75. There's the problem. David Richards, and won't let go either. It's not a question of holding for a second and letting go. He says, hey, he's too far by. I got to hang on.
So it's now 2nd and 15. Chargers back at their 30. 2 possessions, 3 penalties. McMahon has some time and throws complete to the 35-yard line. Hit Darren Nelson out of the backfield. Nelson, one of the best 3rd down. 3 wide receivers. Mark Mraz, number 97, checks in on defense for the Raiders. He's a good pass rusher. And a whole lot of people jump together.
False start, number 65. Offense, 3rd down.
David Richards again. That is 4 penalties in 2 short possessions.
Because they're geared up to just rush.
3rd and 15. Raiders showing blitz. Drop out of it. McMahon dumps it to Nelson. Nelson took a real shot as he got to the 40. Mike Harden, the strong safety, who was released by Denver after 9 years, came up and blasted him. Thomas Benson had him around the ankles.
These would be perfect passes if it was just 2nd down and 10, 3rd down and 10.
Exactly.
But when you start at 2nd down and 15, you complete 2 passes for 5 or 6 yards, you got to turn it over. They got to stop hurting themselves before the ball is snapped.
Run 10 plays from scrimmage. They've had 4 penalties. Adams waiting at the 15 for Hank Illicic's punt. Cardinals only have 1 wide man on their punt coverage team. Beautiful high sailor. Adams at the 19. Got back just across the 20. A 2-yard return after a pretty punt of 41 yards. Gary Plummer was down to make the tackle for San Diego. 5:24 to go in the quarter. Still Raiders by a field goal. And Civi's on the sideline, the 2nd of the Raiders' 3 Heisman Trophy winners, who is on injured reserve. Had major knee surgery. Could return before the end of the year if the Raiders get into the playoffs, but it looks doubtful for them. And he was an exciting player last year in his rookie year. Ball is back in there. This time he is blocking for King. Excuse me, Steve Smith, and he'll pick up about 3 yards.
You know, Steve Smith's the kind of guy who really pounds the ball. 74 carries coming into this game, just 303 yards. He's only averaging a mere 4.1 yards per carry.
Bo's average of 7.4.
That's obscene.
It certainly is.
You know, nobody.
Leads the entire NFL. 2nd and 8 for Jay Schrader. comes the blitz. Bayless. Schrader unloaded. Was it a sack or not? No. Incomplete pass. Martin Bayless, the strong safety, came on the blitz, and Dan Henning wanted the sack.
Dan Henning can't believe that there's no either an in the grasp or a grounding. You'll see him come from the right side of your screen. Number 44 comes unblocked. Martin Bayless now. Right now, he's got Schrader. That's an in the grasp. That's grasp and control. He unloaded the ball. And Jerry Markbright is right there.
You'd think it would be one or the other.
Well, he's got him, right? I mean, he's holding on to him right there. He's not going anywhere.
And then Schrader threw it into Never Never Land, and no flag on that either.
Now Schrader calls timeout because they're not quite certain what they want to do on offense.
So Schrader will go to the sideline facing a 3rd and 8.
Schrader's number 2, and right now Beuerlein's not ready, so Jay's the guy. I mean, no pretense, nothing. That's the way it's going to be. The law according to Art.
Beuerlein could be back next week. Dalton Fernandez both come to the near side. Schrader trying to dance out of trouble, and he's sacked. George Hinkle, number 97, got him from behind. And the Chargers, with their 26th sack of the season, they are 3rd in the conference.
What's so impressive about that, Mike, is they do it just rushing.
Not as good a kick this time. Brinson can't even get up to field it. There is a flag down on the play, and the ball kill at the 39-yard line. Picked up late. That won't count. Punt of 42 yards with the roll. Proudest Jerry was the San Diego player. Went 70 yards untouched.
Why not?
After the whistle.
He's in the end zone. Now he's going to take his helmet off, wave to the fans a little bit. There was a flag down because one of the wingman coming down to cover the kick got knocked out of bounds. The question was he held or something illegal done to him in the process? That's what they're discussing right now with Jerry Markbright.
And Markbright has about 30 players gathered around him at the same time.
Holding number 24, receiving team, while the kick was in the air. First down, San Diego.
6 penalties on the Chargers. 5 have been called against the offense in just 2 possessions. Marion Butts. Not much as Bob Golick, the nose tackle, another one of those Plan B free agents. Picked him up from Cleveland. Golick made the tackle, and Golick has displaced Bill Pickel in the middle and has played very well for this club. This is the home of cast-offs. If you have talent, you can't make it somewhere else, Al Davis will take you, and you'll probably end up playing very well here.
Well, these guys were all high draft choices, and he figures that there's certain specialties that they have, and he'll take advantage of it. Golich is playing in the middle.
Four-man rush on 2nd and 9. McMahon throws complete to midfield. Anthony Miller made the catch. He was covered like a blanket. Lionel Washington right on him, but somehow McMahon fit it into Miller.
We're just talking about Bob Golick. Anthony Miller, you see making the catch. Right there is Golick in the middle. He's going to drop out in the pass coverage. This is a little twist at the rate. See, he starts upfield. Now he drops back right in the middle to pick up the tight end. But McMahon doesn't even throw it in that direction. He throws it to Miller.
Nice toss by Jim McMahon, and it's a first down for the Chargers at midfield. Now the officials want to stop the clock.
I was never a proponent of the instant replay. I admit now that the instant replay has its place. What bothers me still about it is play stoppage just like this. The Chargers make a big play, they get a little bit of momentum, and then all of a sudden they blow the whistle to take a look at it. This is what bothers me, and this is what they're looking at. It's a legit catch. Let the play continue. Why do they have to examine every...
Bucks the single setback. McMahon flushed out of the pocket. He can still run. Slides down at the 43-yard line. Right on top of him, Zeff Lee, number 40. It's what endeared him to his teammates in Chicago, the fact that he would go out there and take a hit.
And here's a guy who chases him around, Bob Golick. We mentioned before, he rushed and went into coverage. Here he goes again. Now, when they go to the 3 tight end set, he's running down the field chasing Andy Parker, while McMahon turns around and is running upfield to pick up 8 yards.
Golick is 275.
He starts 2 yards off the line. Maybe he's got a little cornerback in him.
2nd and 3. Butts tries the left side. Broke 2 tackles, runs right through Zeff Lee and pounds his way down to the 28-yard line. Mike Harden made the tackle, but it's a gain of 16 for the 248-pound rookie. But he was primarily a blocking back at Florida State. Fake to him, McMahon, naked bootleg. Plenty of room. And flag goes down at the end of the play. There will be more yardage tacked on to the 12-yard run.
They're going to get Lyndon King, number 52, for coming in and hitting McMahon in the back once he's on the ground. Readjusts his headband. Can't see with that thing over your eyes. There's Lyndon pleading his case. Says, hey, look, I couldn't stop my momentum.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 52, defense. A blow to the head. First down.
The former Charger, Lyndon King.
There you see McMahon. Now watch the left side of your screen. He puts a move on to try and come up, and there it is.
Oh,
there's the forearm in the back. Well, I don't either.
I don't know.
Here's another shot at it. But watch this. See the forearm? I think what they're looking for is any way that you load anything to go after the quarterback, whether it's a helmet or a forearm, you're going to examine it.
First and goal, Chargers at the 7. Butts didn't get a chance to turn the corner, still on his feet. Finally forced out at the 7-yard line. Mike Harden again on the stop for the Chargers, or for the Raiders.
You know, son, if you're the other running back on a field where Bo Jackson is playing on the
7. McMahon over the middle, complete, intended for his tight end Andy Parker. Tried to wedge that one in there at the 1. Emmanuel King was right with him.
There they are in their 3 tight ends. Now Andy Parker's going to move across the formation, comes out, runs a little slant in. He's there, but what happened is McMahon stepped up into the pocket, couldn't really set, led him a little bit too far.
3rd and goal from the 7. McMahon for Cox. Miller. Incomplete out of the end zone. Lionel Washington was there. Miller made the catch, but too deep.
Miller makes a move. I mean, they're in double coverage. He gets by. The thing is would he have come down inbounds? Even if he got a foot in, they could have possibly argued, but I don't think he holds on to the ball. As you can see, it's laying on the ground.
No, I don't even think it was forced out, but it will bring up a field goal situation for San Diego. Chris Barr has not missed inside 30 yards in 6 years.
43 of 43. That's unbelievable. David Archer's going to do the holding.
He's still perfect.
5 yards.
It's a delay of game on the offense. They'll have to back. Barr will now have to try a 30-yard field goal effort. High snap. Barr does all he can, recovers the ball back at the 42, but that snap was airmail. And Barr appears to be hurt.
like he might have taken a shot on that right shoulder as he went down to recover the fumble. Here's the ball. It just sails over Archer's head. He has no chance at it. They haven't had any trouble with this. Now, Barr's trying to, there it is. He tries to pick it up. Now, there's the shot he takes right on the shoulder. Now, Courtney Hall, number 53, was the snapper. He's a rookie out of Rice. He does not do the snapping normally.
Oh.
Chris Gannon, number 84, does it, but he got hurt. How vital is the kicking game?
Gannon was hurt in this game on... Smith and Bo Jackson switch positions. Schrader with time, guns it to the sideline. Good throw to Fernandez. He's knocked out by Martin Bayless. Gain of 14. That's the end of the first quarter. The Raiders lead the Chargers 3-0.
Ball, I wait for my blocks, and like I stop breathing. Everything gets quiet, and then when the hole's there, I hit it, and when I'm in the open, everything comes back to life. I can hear the people cheering, and I could hear the blocking going on, but that's all behind me now. The only thing that I'm trying to do is get to the goal line.
People have seen him run an awful lot. People haven't heard him talk very much, and he is a very pleasant young man. And everybody seems to be rooting for him unless you're on the other side of the ball when he's got it, of course.
He says he holds his breath when he hits the line. How many people think hold theirs?
Play action by Schrader. This is Raider football. Out of bounds. Willie Gault was out there but took one step too many. Gilbert and Martin Bayless on the coverage, but Gault had them beat.
Oh, you just knew it had to come sooner or later. The Raiders are not going to sit down. They're going to turn Willie loose. Now, he just runs for this ball. Schrader does an excellent job of cutting it loose, but they ran out of football field. There's one foot, there's the other foot. That's a good call by the official. He only managed to keep one in. That's how close. It's a game of inches. There's the left foot in and the right foot out.
White is out of bounds.
Excellent job.
2nd and 10. That's what the Raiders like to call the vertical passing game. We used to call it the bomb. Schrader wants a screen and throws low. Intended for Ethan Horton. We're told that Chris Barr has a rib injury of some kind, will not return tonight. Certainly better than it appeared.
Billy Ray, Billy Ray, we talked about him being 1 for 1. Beats New Orleans. But the problem is how you going to play defense? He kicked it barefoot in preseason. Probably relaxed and was on the sidelines, had his shoes off.
3rd and 10. Chargers come with a blitz. Schrader still has time. Throws to Gault. Sammy Seal slipped down and left Gault wide open at the 23. And a gain of 23.
This is the perfect complement to a pass that you've just run deep on somebody. Now see how Sammy Seal turns? He knows Willie can run. Willie slams the brakes on. This ball is in the air long before Willie Gault ever turned around. Now all Sammy Seal can do is tackle. That's what speed can do. Everybody's got to respect it deep.
Raiders ball at the San Diego 24-yard line. First down. They're already up 3-0. We're in the second quarter. Bo gets that little start on the toss. Plummer ran him out of bounds. Leslie O'Neal trying to force the play.
What happens when you play the Raiders? What speed scares you. Because what happens is the defense gets focused on saying, okay, we can't let Bo run up the middle. We can't give Bo a crack. We got to get up there and support. And then all of a sudden, they run Willie Gault down the field. And when you look at Willie Gault, he's got 15 catches before tonight. He's averaging almost 29 yards a catch. And he's got 3 TDs. You say, well, gee, this guy's catching the ball 30 yards down the field.
every time. 2nd and 10. Schrader lofts it for Fernandez. Couldn't hold it. Gilbert was there.
I'll tell you, the one thing that Jay Schrader is doing tonight that I have not seen him do before is he is giving the receivers an opportunity to run for the football. He's always believed in his arm. Now watch this. Fernandez freezes Bird. Now they take up. The ball's in the air. Now he knows how fast Mervin is. He puts the ball out in front. That would have been a great catch, but the ball is a place a quarterback's got to put it. Only your guy can come up with it.
Schrader, 5 out of 10, 58 yards. Mike Alexander comes in as the 3rd wide receiver for the Raiders. And Bruce Wilkerson got a real early start.
False start. Number 68. Offense. 3rd down.
Either run fast or throw things farther.
San Diego's defense, for the most part, has played very well tonight. Chargers showing blitz again. And Wilkerson moves again. This looks like the first couple of series that San Diego ran.
This is...
Now 3rd and 20. Blitz. Everybody comes. Schrader to goal. Great catch at the 19-yard line. That used to be the rap on Willie Gault, that he had sprinter's speed, but not good hands. His hands have really gotten better over the years.
Well, and here's a guy, he's just playing with a lot more confidence. He's getting the football more. They count on him to be a big play guy. I mean, he's literally running out on the football field like it's 7-on-7, which is what they do during practice when nobody's supposed to really cover you too tight.
Long game, but not enough for the first down, and Jaeger will have to come on and try the field goal. It will be a 37-yard attempt. He's got it. The second-year man out of the University of Washington kicks the 2nd field goal of the game, and the Raiders lead the Chargers 6-0. Bulls have the Raiders up 6-0. Miller and Holland deep to receive the kick. And it's Holland out to the 26-yard line.
Returns it to the 26.
Another short scoring drive, 40 yards, under 2 minutes, and Jaeger caps it off with another field goal.
Charger defense got to feel good about what they've accomplished. They've had the Raiders down, knocking on the door a couple times. First quarter, bad field position for them. This time they stop them, send them back with a little bit of help from penalties.
McMahon has Butts behind it. Dumps it to Butts. There is a flag down as the pass complete to the 28-yard line. And they threw it back among the offensive line blocking, and it is holding. Well, the Chargers are absolutely killing themselves in the first half with penalties.
And this one's probably going to go against Broderick Thompson. You see him get by Thompson and wounds up being tackled.
8 penalties for 48 yards, and we have 12:37 to go in the second quarter. Butts, big hole straight up the middle. 25, 30, 34-yard line. Mike Haynes and Tom Benson had to make the tackle, but a gaping hole up the middle for Butts, and he's gained 42 yards in the first half. Storyline, San Diego. Bo with 33 yards rushing in the first half. The Chargers have been their own worst enemy. Jaeger has kicked 2 field goals, and Barr is out with a rib injury, leaving Billy Ray Smith as the Chargers kicker.
This is what everybody calls in football your throwaway down. Second down and 1. It's a good chance to try and take a big shot.
Raiders may have jumped offside. Free play from McMahon. tripped up, dives forward to the 34. It'll be shy of the first down. Mark Mraz, number 97, got him around the ankles.
97, Mark Perez, penalty flag on play.
Offside. Number 97. Defense. First down.
Also Mraz, who was offside.
Well, if you're going to jump offside, see what happens if the quarterback, and they can see out of their peripheral vision, they can see a guy jump offside, so automatically they know not only do you only need a yard for a first down, but hey, this is a free play. Even McMahon with his goggles on can see him coming around. That's a good play by Mraz. He figures, heck, I've given him a cheap one. I can't let him put it down the field.
You talked to him about that face shield. Does it affect his vision?
No, not at all. It doesn't affect him during day or night. It's interesting, and I'll tell you why after this play, why he wears it.
First and 10 Chargers at their own 39. There's that naked bootleg again. McMahon throwing on the run. He's got Holland out there. Couldn't hold it, then it's intercepted. Harden picked it off. And now they'll say Harden stepped out of bounds at the 3-yard line. There are 2 penalty flags down also. It looked like a catchable ball.
One of them's going to be is, did McMahon cross the line of scrimmage when he let the ball go? That's going to be one question.
McMahon listening intently as the officials huddle.
There you see him with those goggles. What happened, just to fill you in on the shield that he wears, is they were in Phoenix and somebody threw something out on the field at him.
We have 2 fouls. Number 76 holding San Diego. Number 74, illegal man downfield on the pass. Both fouls declined. First down, Raiders.
Well, Broderick Thompson and Brett Miller both made mistakes, and Harden's interception will stand.
Well, they thought McMahon was going to try and run, but to finish the story on that shield is he was in Phoenix and somebody threw something out of the stands when he didn't have it, almost got something in his eye, and he says, hey, this, my eyes are sensitive anyway. That's the reason why I wear glasses, and so that's why I wear the shield. Now, this is not Jim McMahon's fault. Jamie Holland had a shot at the catch, just bounces off his shoulder pad. And there you see Mike Harden just step right on that little white line that says you can't go any further.
Well, this may be the one place on the field you don't want to see Bo Jackson get the ball. They're back at the 4-yard line. He's had touchdown runs, a 400 hitter. 5 times in his career he's had a carry inside his own 10. Twice he's broken it all the way. Could it be? Look out! Just tripped up. Bensie Glenn got part of a foot and brought him down, or 20 yards would have been 96. Holy cow.
Oh, and he knew it too. I mean, I think he even knows it. And he's running left where he's made big plays. The one 2 weeks ago was left. The one against Seattle was left. Now here he starts to cut back. Bensie Glenn saves this because once he gets in that open field, he's going to be one-on-one with Gil Byrd. And again, the only guy that would have been out there with him would have been Willie Gault.
7 carries, 53 yards for Bo in the first half. He's only played 4 games. This is his 5th. He's already 6th in the conference in rushing. Vance Mueller will come in and give Bo a breather. And Mueller gets the toss. Leslie O'Neal right there to stack him up. But this really looks like Raider football. You pound it down their throat, you throw it long.
And then you take a look at this. 90-yard runs. How about that? He's only had 2,000 less than all those other guys, and he's the only guy with, well, besides Tony Dorsett, that has a run over 90 yards. That's incredible. Walter Payton, almost 4,000 carries. He has almost 300. Imagine that, Mike, 300 carries. He's already got 2. Gee.
Just incredible. The players talk about him as if they're awestruck. Bo is back in on 2nd and 10. Schrader guns one to the sideline, nobody home. Fernandez was streaking down the sidelines.
Percent passer.
Raiders on 3rd and long. Very low in the league rankings. They've hit only 1 out of 4 tonight. Schrader deep sideline. Fernandez makes a cut and takes it down to the San Diego 23. There is a flag down back at the 20-yard line. A 53-yard bomb. Let's see if it stands. It won't.
Well, this one's coming to you as advertised. Bo Jackson making big runs. Catches by Fernandez and Galt down the field. Schrader lighting it up, and an excellent job of defense by the Chargers just to keep themselves in this ball game.
Actually, 2 flags down in this play, one at the 20, one at the 35. We'll see if they are separate and distinct.
Holding, number 63, offense. Holding, defense. Penalties offset, 3rd down.
No specific guilty party on defense, but John Gisick, the offensive right guard.
Number 63, you see him on Hinkle, number 97. He's got, well, yeah, that's a pretty strong guy to take, just like put one hand down on your lower your back and then flip you over with the other one. Woo!
So we'll do 3rd and 10 all over again.
Chargers thankful for another opportunity.
Drop out of the blitz. Schrader pressured out of the pocket, throws on the run. Willie Galt makes the catch at the 47-yard line. Seal was there, but couldn't stop the pass from gaining 24.
Willie Galt's run deep. He ran a post, caught it a little out of bounds. He's run a couple of out patterns. Now he's got Sammy Seal playing outside, so he says, the heck with you. I'll go inside to the soft zone area. Schrader doing an excellent job. Pushed out of the pocket to his left and then makes the throw. Look at that form. That's why he can get it out and did so well. You see how he turned his shoulders and his hips up the field? Something Jay has a tendency to get a little lazy doing, but that time he didn't.
Somebody had a big handful of Lee Williams' jersey on that play. 8:01 to go in the half. 1st down Raiders. Play action to Bo. Schrader airing it out again for Galt. Intercepted. Picked off by Elvis Patterson. And he comes up running. 35-yard line. His nickname is Toast. They gave him that because they said he was burned so often, but he wasn't burned that time.
You know, Schrader, once Schrader gets some confidence in his arm, he thinks he can throw it out of the stadium, and he can't. There's Vincey Glenn back to help. Incidental contact. Now, what happens is when Patterson hits the ground, Willie Galt never really gets a hand on him. Now, if Willie had just touched him in the end zone, it would have been a touchback. But he decides, hey, nobody touched me. I'm bringing it out.
Elvis Patterson, his 2nd interception of 1989.
He told me in the locker room on Saturday, he said, you know, we just have to get physical with people. Got to get physical with Willie and try and make it happen. He said this is such a young football team that you have to get used to having good things happen, like beating Philadelphia last week, making big plays like they have. Looks like that's what they're doing. Jay has a tendency sometimes to fall back into that I can throw it anywhere syndrome of his. Admittedly, he says, hey, I don't worry about the interceptions. I don't worry about percentages.
8 touchdown passes this year, 11 interceptions, and the officials huddling with 7:38 to go in the half.
What they're discussing is whether or not Elvis Patterson was touched by Willie Galt.
Jim McMahon would like to light a fire into this offense. He's only 3 out of 9 for 34 yards with an interception here in the first half. But got a pretty good first half. Goes through a nice hole across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Tom Benson, this club's leading tackler, in on another one. Played last year for New England.
That's a good job up front by the Charger offense, too. I mean, that offensive line, you know, Fitzpatrick at the left tackle, Broderick Thompson at the left guard, Courtney Hall, and Don Masick at center, and then David Richardson at the right guard, and Brett Miller coming over from Atlanta at the right tackle. They're doing a good job up front.
2nd and 6. Butts trying to get outside. Howie Long couldn't hold him. But Golick moved out from the nose tackle spot to get in on the stop. Gain of about a yard. Butts pretty decent speed for a guy that big. Runs a 4.5 40, and he's 248 pounds.
Chargers have decided to attack the Raider defense with 2 separate types of formations. We saw them line up with the 3 tight ends there, try and pound Marion Butts between the tackles. They feel like with Golick off the ball, if you fire your centers and guards out, it'll work. Then they come in with the 4 wides, which they have now. They'll use this on 1st down as well as 3rd sometimes.
3rd and 3. McMahon had trouble with the snap. Townsend came right up the middle, but McMahon unloads and has a 1st down. Zeff Lee made the tackle on Miller, but not before he got to the 46-yard line.
Cisco, it's his choice not to use it.
Chargers, there you see their 1st down efficiency. They've hit 40% tonight, under their season average. Townsend with pressure. McMahon steps away from it. Holland can't hold it at the 47. Scott Davis flattened him and then picks him up.
Townsend's just so quick off the ball. See how he goes around Miller, and then he takes that hard angle, and then all of a sudden Scott Davis just wraps up McMahon. Jim McMahon just playing the perfect kind of football that he was brought here to play. Stable, steady, no big mistakes to hurt the ball club.
There are the numbers on number 9 so far tonight. Facing a 2nd and 10. Butts straight up the middle. Good job by Townsend. Had him around the knees and brought him down. Of course, we have not seen Tim Spencer tonight. Seen Darren Nelson.
The guy.
3rd and 8. McMahon in trouble, and he's down. Scott Davis all over him. The 2nd-year player out of Illinois gets his 3rd sack.
Earlier in the game, McMahon had a chance to drop back and throw the football. Here, he drops back. He only drops back about 3 or 4 steps and then is looking to really go for the 1st down pass, not try and put the ball down the field. His offensive line has got to take on this Charger defense, or the Raider defense, quicker at the line of scrimmage. Get more separation between them and McMahon.
Olisic set the punt to Stephon Adams, who waits at his 20. Olisic's had trouble with the narrower field in the National Football League. This is a low-line drive. Adams can't get there until he takes it on the hop. Holland downfield makes the tackle on special teams as Adams got it back to the 32, a return of 9 after a kick of 40. Raiders still on top of the Chargers. 6. And Joe Theismann with you. So far, it has been all special teams, field goal kickers, punters, and bad snaps.
That's the way it's been. I mean, the offenses have been sporadic, offside penalties, holding penalties, hurting each of them, which you'd almost expect. The Chargers have had a real problem with penalties. The Raiders' history has been penalties. The question now is can the Charger, who's ever snapping at center, Andy Parker is right there now, keep the ball somewhere in semblance of play for the guys that have to field it?
Bo has had some big runs, but hasn't broken one. And it's Raider football with 4:12 to go in the half. Get this one up to about the 35-yard line. Bert Grossman brought down Bo Jackson. I'd like to welcome our live audience tonight in the United Kingdom. And the interest in football over there growing and growing. It is morning.
Good morning.
Over there. Good morning.
Good morning. The NFL enjoying a wonderful audience from the United Kingdom. Started televising over there in the early 80s.
2nd and 7. Bo powers his way across the 40 to about the 41.
Bo Jackson, the ball carrier.
Averaging 7 yards a carry tonight. first 4 games averaged 7.4.
You can just see the Charger defense change its philosophy a little bit when he goes out of the game. They get a bit more aggressive. When he's in there, they try and play a little bit more tentative, play into the offensive lineman, and read them a little bit more.
Approaching the 3-minute mark in the second quarter. The report on Barr, sprained ribs. He will not return. Smith dives forward, appears to have enough for the first down out to the 42-yard line. Smith, a tough inside runner out of Penn State.
Stripped up by Gary Plummer.
And it is a first down with 2:31 to go in the half.
Right now, the Chargers have got to feel like they've got to stop them from scoring. If they can keep them under 7 points, they feel like they can just hang on, match them toe for toe. They've got to feel like they've done a good job. Willie hasn't been in the end zone yet, neither has Bo.
Vance Mueller replaces Bo Jackson on this series. We'll see if they get the play off before the 2-minute warning. And Schrader hustles up as he noticed the clock. Mueller on the toss. Leslie O'Neal out there waiting for him and made the good tackle as he crossed the 45 to the 46. We're inside the 2-minute warning. It has been a defensive struggle. The Raiders still lead it by. Love this. 1:56 to go first half. Raiders with the ball at their own 46, 2nd and 7. Comes the blitz. Do a good job picking it up, and they air it out for Galt. Sam Seal was with him stride for stride that time.
Sammy Seal up to the task of being able to take on Willie Galt one-on-one. There's a commitment by the Raiders to go after Schrader. Seal says, hey, I can run too. See how he looks at Willie's eyes? That's what a good defensive back does. He looks at the receiver's eyes, and for some odd reason, when that ball gets close, their eyes get a little bigger. And so he turns around and says, my eyes better get bigger too.
The Raiders have not scored in the 2-minute drill this year. They have the worst record in the NFL. And they're facing 3rd and 7. Flag is down. Passed over the middle. Picked off. Intercepted by Roy Bennett. The tip drill worked that time. We'll check the flag.
Roy Bennett gets the interception, but Lester Lyle just absolutely tattooed the receiver.
Illegal motion foul. Number 80, Raiders decline. First down.
The interception stands.
Watch this shot. Lester Lyle. He's going to hit number 80, Tim Ware. He had to reach back for the ball, but boom!
Oh.
Hello. That's one where you check all your pearly whites to make sure all of them are still there.
And Bennett was right there. Billy Ray Smith practicing his technique. Because Barr is injured, Billy Ray Smith, the backup kicker, his only professional kick was 17 yards in a preseason game in 1985.
Gotta be careful he doesn't pull a groin.
But Raiders closed on him very quickly and bent him backwards at midfield. Mraz was one of the first players there, number 97, got a lot of help. Chargers take a timeout with 1:35 to go in the half. What a pair of hands Fred Biletnikoff had. Good heavens. He and Raymond Berry catch anything that was out there.
It was in the stadium. They'd get their hands on it.
2nd and 7. Chargers trying to get on the board before halftime. Howie Long, huge start. Flag is down. McMahon dancing. Long comes from behind. Tried to strip the ball and got him. And we'll check the penalty.
The ball carrier. Penalty flags on the field.
Howie was either offside or he had unbelievable anticipation.
Well, you know what amazed me is they didn't blow the whistle. Now, that's where you get people hurt. McMahon's now hobbling around. You take a look at him, you'll see McMahon hobbling around back there. I mean, Howie's obviously offside. Blow the whistle. Stop the play. Protect the quarterback. Protect everybody.
Offside, number 75, defense, holding, number 76, offense, penalties, offset, second down.
Broderick Thompson called for holding, so it's offsetting penalties. The ball stays at the Raider 49. And there you see why you want to protect Jim McMahon. Because of his aggressiveness, he's been hurt so much throughout his career.
And this is the first year that he has not missed a game due to injury.
2nd and 7 again. An awful lot of penalties in this ballgame. Four-man rush. McMahon gets rid of it early. Walker couldn't hold it. Good coverage out there by Terry McDaniel.
Terry McDaniel, that first-round draft choice in '88 out of Tennessee. He's got 2 interceptions already this year. You know, he said the one thing he had to learn when he started playing in the NFL was how to finish a coverage. He said, everybody's good here. You just got to make sure you get and stay with everybody. And there he shows how he does it.
McDaniel broke a leg last year, so he is really almost still playing in his rookie year. McMahon, the numbers on the first half, 4 out of 12, 41 yards and an interception. Dumps it off to Miller. Miller fighting for the sticks, won't get there because Lionel Washington came up from the corner and made a sure tackle. It will bring up 4th down. What do you do? 4th and short.
You know, with this football team, I mean, they're not going to, the Chargers aren't going to get in the playoffs. Why not go for it? You know, Dan may make the decision to go for it. He wants to see how far it is. It's 2 yards. Let's call timeout and talk about it. At least he's thinking about it, I think.
Second charge, timeout.
McMahon was looking to the sideline. He wanted to know what his coach Dan Henning wanted to do. Hope you'll stay with us at halftime. The Chargers must get a touchdown because Billy Ray Smith is now their place kicker.
Well, no.
You really can't count on that.
Well, true, you can't count on it, but you got to figure they'll at least take a shot at it.
There are the stats on the Chargers. 4th down, 4th and a yard and a half.
I like it. This is football. Take a chance.
McMahon got away and then a sack. Howie Long was there. Townsend was there.
At least you're trying. At least they made an effort. They were giving it an effort. It's just great defense by the Raiders. McMahon did what he had to do. They're trying to run a little dodge or delay pattern. Somebody come right down in front. There you see number 83 Miller. That's who McMahon wants to go through. There's just nowhere to go. I mean, he tried. Greg Townsend puts him down.
Henning watching from the sideline. Didn't go the way he drew it up, or the way they talked about it during the timeout.
What he's shaking his head about is the fact that
remaining, and they have the ball at the San Diego 48. Smith and Mueller are the backs, split behind Jay Schrader. And Schrader will get it out of bounds near the line of scrimmage. Just couldn't find anybody downfield.
What's happened in the Raiders' scheme of offense, they have to sort of catch you off guard. That's why I thought that 4th down call was not a bad call. The Raiders, they're going to run Bo. It's a big play offense. We showed the graphic. They're the worst in the 2 minutes in the National Football League. Dan Henning's got to be aware of that of his football team. So he figures, why not take a chance? These guys are the worst. They want to run Willie past people. Now you're expecting them to go deep. You know, maybe the worst they come out of it is down 9 or just going into the half at 6.
It is hardly a controlled passing offense.
Hardly.
Comes the blitz. They pick it up again very well, and Schrader has plenty of time. Throws Fernandez. Broke a tackle. Lost the ball. Was it down? The officials looking at each other, and I think they'll rule it down at the 18-yard line. Roy Bennett with another big hit, but a 30-yard gain.
Mervin Fernandez is working on Gilbert now. He takes the outside away. So Fernandez just runs a cut. Now Schrader does a nice job of stepping up into the pocket. Swerving almost let that one get away, carrying it like a breadbasket, like a little loaf of bread. That's not what you might call being tucked away, but it was effective.
And he was down before the ball came loose. Fernandez was a star in the Canadian Football League. Last year in the NFL, he led the league with a 26-yard average per catch. And in 5 years in the Canadian League, he had 55 touchdowns. That's the guy who wanted the vertical passing game. The man in the center of your screen at the top applauding right now, Al Davis, the master of the bomb, aggressive football, just an absolutely brilliant football mind. 36 seconds to go in the half. Schrader under pressure again. Plummer chasing him. He goes out of bounds at the 16-yard line. Defensive coaches, because they have improved this defense so much. 2nd and 8. Schrader throws behind. Patterson had the interception and couldn't hold it. It was intended for Mueller, poorly thrown, and Elvis Patterson nearly had his 2nd interception of the half.
This one bounces right off his chest. You'll see the left part of your screen. He throws it very badly behind the receiver, Vance Mueller. And Elvis was thrown so hard, Elvis couldn't hold on.
So now it's 3rd and 8 with 23 seconds left. The short passes have dogged Schrader throughout his career.
He's got a big gun, and that's what he uses it for.
Schrader rifles this one. Willie Gault would have had to been 8 feet tall to have a crack at that. Seal on the coverage. And the Raiders will have Hager, who has made a pair. Will have Dan Turk as his snapper, Jeff Gossett as his holder. 34-yard field goal. The Raiders convert again. And now they're on top 9-0 over the San Diego Chargers.
Or again than it could get away from. Right now, they're going to have to score at least 10, 14 points to win this game anyway.
Miller and Holland, 2 dangerous return men, are deep. But Miller has to chase it down in the end zone, and the Chargers will keep it there. Once again, not a long drive for the Raiders, but good enough to get into Jager's field goal range, and he converts from 34 yards. They have come up with some excellent players like Golick and Benson. Guys who were starting for them and really contributing. Butts. Up from the corner, Terry McDaniel with an excellent tackle. And the Chargers with no timeouts left, fearful of making a mistake, they will let the clock run out. That is the end of the first half of play from Jack Murphy Stadium in San Diego. The Raiders are the best in the National Football League at covering kicks. And a big kickoff return is something the Chargers could use right now. Anthony Miller broke one a year ago for 93 yards. Jamie Holland broke one a year ago for 94. Miller trying to cut it back, still on his feet, and stopped at the 18-yard line.
Here's what to do something with.
Butts the lone setback behind McMahon. And he'll get the call. The Raiders string it out very well. Butts does cross the 20 and lumbers forward to about the 21-yard line.
How about bringing up that stat that you show where they rush in first down more than Eddie's got that.
Bob Golick did a nice job sliding down the line of scrimmage to be in on that tackle.
Golick, one of those really stable sort of individuals, you know, like doesn't wrap his face up with tape or anything like that. If you saw prime time today or game day today, you know that Bob Golick does not walk the middle of the road.
A little different. Second and set, which makes him a perfect Raider. fake to Butts. McMahon on that bootleg play again. He's going to have to eat it. And the guy that chased him down was Mike Wise. Howie Long was out there, made him cut back in.
Tackle number 90, Mike Wise.
Bob Golick continuing. I mean, what he does, see where he is right there, that big guy? See, here's the ball right there. He's a good 2 yards off the ball, and for that, he not only, he makes the linemen, see how the linemen have to come and get him, which allows him an opportunity to get into pursuit lanes and sort of play like a piano player down the line.
Chargers only 1 out of 6 on third down tonight. And they're facing a 3rd and 4 now. McMahon tried to dump it to Miller. Howie Long got the hand up. Working against David Richards, number 65.
It seems like when you block Howie, they neutralize him. They keep him at the line of scrimmage. They do a good job. But now he does what any smart defensive lineman does. He looks to see if the quarterback is set, and then he jumps up and knocks it down. The guy that I felt was the best at doing that was Dave Butts, who I used to play with the Redskins. Big 6'6" guy. Used to get double teamed all the time. Would stand at the line of scrimmage and swat down those little passes.
Mike Harden waits the 35 for Illicic's punt. He replaced Holbert Lewis as the Chargers had a terrible punting game. Pretty kick by Illicik this time, but returnable. Harden from the 31. Takes a shot as he crossed the 40 to the 43-yard line. A return of 12, and Andy Parker, the tight end, number 85, laid a shoulder pad right into his chest. The Raiders in the first half had far more success than the Chargers did with it. Had to punt on their first possession. Jager's first field goal from 37 yards on their second drive. Then they had to punt again. Jager again, this time from 40 yards to make it 6-0. An interception stopped the next drive. An interception stopped another drive, and then Jager, as time ran out in the first half, got his third field goal. Chargers defense has played well. The offense has not helped them much. Bo just shot through a little seam and picks up 13 yards to the Charger 43-yard line. Martin Bayless had to make the tackle.
Part of the new philosophy of that Charger offensive line is to get a helmet on everybody. You see them, they just get locked up on people. The fullback picks up somebody, the tackles are on people, and Bo just finds the crease. Then once he gets in the secondary, it's a pick 'em. He's 13, 14 yards down the field.
Nobody is going to get him with an arm tackle, and that's what they got him with at the line of scrimmage, and he was gone. Bo, 10 carries, 76 yards tonight. They'll give it to Smith, using Jackson as a decoy. He had started early a couple times in that formation. They had given him the toss. This time they go with Smith up the middle for about 3. There's Chris Barr, who was injured early in the ball game, a rib injury. And he is now an attorney in California. Look at that, 1,171 career points. I don't think anyone else in the California Bar Association has done that well.
Well, I don't think so. There might even be anybody who doesn't have it.
Of course, they won more cases than he has so far, too.
But not games.
2nd and 6. Barr will not be able to kick tonight. Bo, power and speed, plows his way to the 34, very close to another first down. Again, Martin Bayless had to make the tackle.
I get the feeling watching the Raider offense, they're just not going to be this patient in this drive all the way. Sooner or later, they're going to try and take a shot deep. But now they're just willing to give the ball to Bo and let him find his lanes. But you see, Bayless hits him, and he still manages to pick up 2 and 3 yards.
They will measure for the first down. 11 carries, 81 yards for Bo Jackson. One of the writers out here, Los Angeles writer Mark Downey, I think had the best line of anybody yet talking about Bo Jackson playing 2 sports. He said Bo Jackson is not only in a league by himself, he's in 2 leagues by himself. And he is. It will be 3rd and inches.
I guess if you always wondered what Jim Brown and Mickey Mantle might look like if they were combined genetically, you have Bo Jackson.
Number 66 is an eligible receiver. 66 is eligible.
Just announcing that Steve Wright, number 66, will line up as an eligible receiver on 3rd and very short. And that's when maybe he is the most dangerous on a short yardage situation where he breaks that first wall and there's nobody left.
Well, you're right. You know, because the safety's usually going to be about 7-8 yards from the line of scrimmage as opposed to his normal 12 to 15. The Chargers do a good job of getting into the offensive line of the Raiders, but Bo just manages to find a crease. No matter where it is, he's going to come through, slide through sideways, power through with his shoulders, and pick up something.
Now 87 yards on 12 carries. The average of 7.3, 1/10 of a yard below his season's average so far. Smith with Jackson as the lead blocker and gave him a good block. Smith fights for yardage down to the 22-yard line. Bo was never called on to block very much at Auburn. He has not been called on to block very much here. He may lack some technique, but he is certainly willing.
Well, the other thing is if you get a guy that's 230 going after somebody here, he's not afraid to stick it in. He takes a little piece of Leslie O'Neal, and then he goes on downfield to see if he can help out with somebody else, and then he just sort of watches. But he did get a shoulder into Leslie O'Neal and managed to cut him down.
And O'Neal is 259. Bo stacked him up at the line of scrimmage that time. Still fell forward to the 20. He'll be about a yard shy of the first down. Cedric Figueroa made the tackle, the second-year man out of Notre Dame.
It's like everybody in this stadium is sitting and waiting. It's like, you know, oh, it's a handoff. Let me just sit and wait, see what happens.
So is everybody on defense.
Well, yeah, and the Chargers are doing it on offense. I mean, that's part of the problem tonight. They're sitting there waiting. You know, it's like they're watching Bo play football instead of taking the offensive initiative, and their defense has been left out on the field, seems like forever.
They spot the ball outside of the 20, so it's third and about a yard and a half. Clock ticking away, 8:41 to go, third quarter. Still 9-0. Raiders over the Chargers, and Los Angeles bidding for more. Bo Jackson with 88 yards has outrushed the Chargers by 9, and they didn't get the play off in time.
You could see Schrader rush to the line of scrimmage to try and do it, and get the play off, but he was unable to do it.
Clock was running out, so Schrader spent a timeout. We have a timeout on the field with 8:32 to go, third quarter. Still 9, a yard and a half. Raiders in a power formation, Jackson in the eye. Bo, first down and more. Carrying tacklers with him down to the 15. Let's go back to the before the timeout. Guess who called the timeout?
Well, here's the guy that carried it is the guy that kept this drive alive. This clock is running down now. Bo Jackson sees it, but Schrader thinks he can get it off, and he can't. Bo checks it. He turns around and calls timeout. So instead of having 3rd and 8 or 3rd and 7, they wind up with just 3rd and 2.
And they would not have gotten the play off in time.
No, it would have been called.
But it is a first down now for the Raiders at the San Diego Charger 15-yard line. Up 9-0, bidding for more. Bo. Leslie O'Neal had him slip through his hands, and Jackson is down to the 10. They steal the ball a little late, and now pushing and shoving. And Bo right in the middle of it with Bensie Glenn, number 25. Jackson 1 yard short of the 100-yard mark on 15 carries.
Well, watch this. Look at Leslie. I think everybody is so hesitant to make an aggressive move at Bo. He's really dictating the tempo of how this game goes. Everybody's sort of on the Charger defenses. Well, you know, I can't really go flying at him. So now the defense gets jacked up, and I think Vincey's doing the right thing. He's throwing a little spirit into his defense.
And Bruce Wilkerson trying to protect Bo Jackson. 2nd and 5. Bo. O'Neal got him after Les Miller, number 69, had him around the waist and held him up. But one of the things the Chargers wanted to do with Bo Jackson was hit him early and often. They just haven't hit him often enough.
And it's past early. I got to tell you that. It's way past early to hit him.
Bo is closing in on 600 yards in his 5th game in pro football this year.
It's
You
trained to
project
move it.
that over a 16-game season, and he's up around 1,900 yards.
Yeah, you can just project and hope. If you're a football fan, you'd hope he'd think about maybe taking some time away.
And now Schrader will take the team's second timeout here in the third quarter. 6:13 to go in the period. 9-0 Los Angeles. 6:13 to go in the third quarter. And this has been Raider football under Art Shell. He said he wants his team playing tough, executing, and attacking on offense. This drive, 9 rushes, no passes. They have reached the Charger 8-yard line, 3rd and 3. This is old-fashioned smash-mouth football. Bo. Leslie O'Neal got him at the 16.
You can only go to the well so often. I mean, they're this close. You're certainly not going to have to worry about Galt and Fernandez down this close. This pitch is coming. Leslie O'Neal just comes up the field. Steve Smith tries to kick him out, but Bo was going to outrun him and just couldn't. Leslie O'Neal with a big play upfield.
Great defensive play by O'Neal, who has become a linebacker after being a down lineman. He was out for 23 months with a terrible knee injury. Jaeger will try for his 4th field goal. 33-yard attempt, perfect again. The second-year man out of Washington has kicked 4 field goals for the Los Angeles Raiders, and they lead San Diego 12-0. And Joe Theismann will be there to provide sound effects.
Can't wait.
Jaeger to kick off. Miller and Holland are deep. Miller at the 9. Got an opening. Jaeger to beat. He outran it. Miller, touchdown. Told you earlier that Anthony Miller was the 3rd-ranked kickoff return man in the league last year. Had a 93-yard kickoff return a season ago. Had not broken anything this year until now, and that one went for 91.
Well, the Chargers had to figure out some way to get his hands on the ball, and that time he did.
And Chris Barr, who we were told would not return, is on the field to try the point after. And got it through. And Barr comes up hurting.
Extra point try. Good. By number 3.
What Anthony Miller does is he starts it up the middle so that all the Raiders start to come into him. Then he finds the crease, and he takes off behind Jamie Holland. Holland does a nice job of creating. Now, what happens is Jaeger, he's just not used to taking an angle on anybody. And Anthony Miller just shows his speed down the field.
And that was against the NFL's #1 kickoff coverage team in it at 12-7. Hank Illicek will kick off. Kicked quite a bit in the Canadian Football League. Vance Mueller with a kick return out near the 30-yard line.
You know, leadership comes in all kinds of different ways. They get hit or fall down.
Now let's see if the Raiders go back to what has worked so well. Run it hard and throw it long. Ball in motion, he gets the toss. Flag is down. Bo pushed out of bounds at the 31-yard line. Plummer was out there trying to force the play, and he may have been the player held. Vincey Glenn forced him out of bounds.
That's the 11th straight run that the Raiders have tried.
Holding number 35, offense.
Fullback Steve Smith, and he was leading the play.
Lower part of your screen, Steve Smith's going to block on Gary Plummer. Now Plummer comes up the field, gets his hands out, and you just, I mean, hey, What can I tell you? There's one for you. It's
Plummer,
grab a knee.
Plummer, the leading tackler on the ball club, he said, I've always been too small to play no matter where I've played. I just love being an underdog. 1st and 20. Schrader under pressure. Throws low for Jackson. Billy Ray Smith right there at the 24-yard line. Got some help from Jim Collins, the veteran they got from the Rams.
Right down here is Bo Jackson. He's just going to run out, run a stop. Schrader wants to get to him quick. You'll see Bo almost quits on it. He says, well, he's not coming to me. There's the quick hitch. Now he's just standing there. Oh, holy mackerel, here comes the ball. Let me go do my thing. Too many people to do my thing. Let me get down out of here.
2nd and 15. The crowd trying to cheer on the defense. Schrader, good throw to Willie Gault that time, and Gault ducks under the tackler. Gil Byrd across the 40 to the 42. It will be a Raiders first down.
Speed hurts you. Look at the room that Willie Gault's getting. That's Bayless going back into the middle. Gil Byrd back. I mean, he's 5-6 yards off of him. And you can't afford to do it. What you have to do is you have to hope that you can let them get close enough to your end zone so that he can't run by you. And you can start playing a little bit tighter.
Got to a little crack up to about the 46-yard line. Going back a couple of plays ago when the crowd was exhorting the Chargers defense. Can you imagine if they had had a defense that would play this well when Dan Fouts and Kellen Winslow and all those guys were here?
Well, you know, the thing is they tried to do that. They really did. I talked to Ron Lynn about that, and it's so funny. Teams sort of rely on different aspects of the game. They tried to play good defense, and at times they did, but it was always overshadowed by the offensive expertise of Dan Fouts and his crew.
2nd and 5. Bo again, this time on the toss. Chargers cover it well that time. O'Neal got out there. Bensie Glenn came up and messed up the timing of the play. Plummer was also over there. O'Neal has been very active. College basketball opening on Wednesday night. The Dodge NIT, Richmond and North Carolina State. I'll be down there to do that ball game at Reynolds Coliseum. Ohio State DePaul, Loyola Marymount against UNLV. That's all first round action. Our live triple header starts at 7:30 Eastern Wednesday night.
Loyola Marymount against UNLV. Woo, there'll be some balls.
142 to 141. Last team of the ball wins.
That's right.
3rd and 5 here. Blitz all out. Glenn doesn't get there in time, but Seal picks it off. Sammy Seal, driven out of bounds at the 37. A return of 25 yards on the interception. San Diego at the Raider 38. Spencer in there for the first time at running back. Play action to him. McMahon trying to run out of trouble. Did not get back to the line of scrimmage. And Tom Benson came up and gave McMahon a wicked hit as he was on the way down. Bob Golick made the initial stop.
We're coming down to the end of the 3rd quarter, and the Charger offense has been absolutely non-existent. Fellow teammates in the huddle and say, hey, guys, we got to get something now.
Clock working down now at 49 seconds, 2nd and 12. McMahon has been under tremendous pressure all night, got away from Townsend, throws incomplete off the fingertips of Anthony Allen. Should have caught that one. Russell Carter on the coverage.
Here comes the pressure from Greg Townsend. He goes upfield, then slides inside. There you see, never grabbed McMahon's face mask. What he did is he grabbed the back of his helmet. Now, when you're scrambling around like that, you got to have guys make plays for you. In defense of Anthony Allen, he doesn't play that much. He doesn't get the ball thrown to him very often in the game, but still, you got to come up with a play when it's necessary.
McMahon has a total of 47 yards. He's hit only 5 out of 15, but in his defense, he must feel like one of those little ducks in a shooting gallery. Again under pressure. Miller with a catch to the 25, first down. Forced out by Washington. They finally got it back to Anthony Miller.
And this is the formation that they're going to have to do it. There's the receivers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Miller comes down and he just runs across. The Raiders are known for man-to-man defense. You get a guy moving and let him run away from people. It's an easy throw for the quarterback. He doesn't have to hold the ball long, and you got a receiver on the move against man-to-man.
First and 10, Chargers at the Raiders 24. They're down 12-7. Spencer. Tom Benson was waiting for him. Benson, another Plan B free agent, a tough, athletic, rangy linebacker who played for New England last year, another former Charger. On the sideline as the Chargers, 23-yard Shell on the right, Dan Henning on the left, matching wits in this one. Shell, since he's become head coach, 4-1. Dan Henning, 3-6 in his first year with the San Diego Chargers. Jim McMahon is the guy who has to do it for him, and the 81-yard kickoff return only took about 10 seconds. Second and 9. Four wideouts in this formation. And they'll go to Spencer on the delay. Picking his way inside the 20 and bowling to the 16-yard line. Good run by Spencer. And here we go. Zeff Lee, number 40, in the middle of it. We'll sort out the Chargers in a minute. Thompson is there, so is Miller. Remember the problem that the Chargers may have with trying to kick the field goal. Barr obviously in pain when he kicked that extra point. McMahon with time, dumps it off. First down at the 11-yard line. Miller makes the big catch. Miller has turned into the big play and the possession receiver on this team.
Well, Mike, when you get man-to-man coverage, you move somebody. Watch Miller, right part of your screen. See, the guy covering him is man-to-man. If he's not stationary, he can't really put a good pair of hands on him. See what happens? If Miller's moving, Zeff Lee has got to keep on moving to mirror him. Therefore, he can't come up and just chuck a stationary target. That's great coaching right there. Good philosophy. The guy you want to throw the ball to, move him.
And Miller made the great move after the catch, making sure he got the first down. Spencer. Cut it back inside the 10. 5. Fumble. Raiders football. Holy cow. Mike Harden comes out with the football. Spencer made a tremendous effort. Got to the one and coughed it up.
Raiders never quitting. Watch this effort. Outside, it's the old counter trade that the Redskins run. He doesn't even get through to make a block. Look at this move right there. What a super move he puts on Tom Benson. Now as the ball just gets stripped from him by Mike Harden, and he winds up with it.
Great double effort by Harden. He strips the ball and then gets the fumble recovery. They've reviewed it upstairs. The play will stand as called, and Tim Spencer has to be heartsick.
Not only that, you know what I do right now if I'm the Raiders?
Bombs away.
You aren't kidding. Well, I say, Mervin, Willie, run. I'll get it up. Take a 5-step drop, plant your back foot, Jay Schrader, and throw that thing as far as you can throw it.
Spencer, the third leading rusher all time in the USFL, behind Herschel Walker and Kelvin Bryant.
Now they want to give Bo a chance to go 99 yards and tie Tony Dorsett.
Smith gets the carry instead and dives out to the 3. Lester Lyles Styles made the tackle. Spencer with a tremendous run, tremendous effort, and then coughed it up at the 1-yard line.
What hurts so much, too, is he's basically lost his starting job to Marion Butts. You know, Marion started the game, and Tim's the kind of guy who's been playing hard for 5 years, played in the USFL, gets that close, and it just sneaks away.
Chargers defense needs to dig in here. Smith again behind Jackson. Hit in the backfield and brought down. Just reached the line of scrimmage. Lester Lyles was in there in a hurry.
I don't agree with this, and I don't know whether Al Davis is going to like this or not, but he constantly talks about vertically stretching the field. If you're back there, Schrader has really not been pressured that much. He's had time to throw the football. If I've got to defend 99 yards of field and I'm a Charger cornerback, I got to be worried half sick when I got Galton Fernandez lined up. You know, I'm sure he's not clapping what I'm saying, but the fact is that to me, this is not accomplishing what the Raiders have all that speed for.
Vance Mueller checks into the backfield. Bo is out on 3rd and long. Mueller got to the 9, but that's short of a first down, and the Raiders will have to punt the football away. And the Charger defense, Brinson averaging 12.9 a kick return. An excellent average on punts. Had 1 for 52 this year. They came with the block attempt, may have gotten a piece of it. The ball is short. Chargers recover outside the 20-yard line. It looked like Ken Woodard was the man who got a piece of the punt, and it only went 12 yards. Chargers special teams. They got the only touchdown on an Anthony Miller kickoff return, and now a part. 1st and 10 from the 23. Spencer back in there at running back, and if there's anybody on the field that wants to score, it's him. McMahon dumps it to Spencer. Blocker in front. Nice cut. Spencer stays on his feet down to the 15-yard line. And you're going to have to get a big stick to knock this guy down.
I'll tell you, you know something? Also, the Raiders had a chance to use that big stick at the end of the half to really take the heart out of the Chargers. They couldn't when they went for it on 4th down and didn't make it. Here, Spencer knows that, hey, I got to carry the football. Watch him cover up right here. 2 hands on the ball. Look at that.
Oh.
Look at it. He's not taking blows. He's delivering blows.
Terry McDaniel came up, delivered a shot, and ended up flat on his face for his trouble. 2nd and 2. Spencer. 1st down to the 10. Oh, he can taste it. Wise and Long made the tackle.
This is where your quarterback is so very important being in this situation. Everybody in the huddle is saying right now, come on, we can go, we can go. This is where Jimmy Mack walks in, and everybody looks at him and knows that he's in charge. This is vintage McMahon control of a huddle.
Tonight, the Chargers have gotten inside the 20 twice, have not done much with it before tonight. 78% conversions inside the 20. Spencer again. Big hole to the 5. And that Charger offensive line has opened a couple of nice gaps for the 223-yard Tim Spencer to run through.
Vision of a running back. Watch Spencer's eyes. See him looking upfield? Great vision. Sees the cutback, lowers his shoulders. Again, he is not absorbing blows. He's delivering them.
Zeph Lee was one of the men he ran over to get to the 5. 2nd and 5. Spencer again. Touchdown! He's out there. through. Tim Spencer with his second rushing touchdown of the season, and the Chargers have exploded to a 2-point lead. Minutes, 48 seconds to go from San Diego, and the Chargers, with excellent special teams play, have taken the lead on the Raiders 14-12. Alyssa kicking on. Mueller at the 14. Gets it back to the 28-yard line. David Brandon down on Chargers coverage to make the tackle. 8:38 left to go in the game. We'll be back in a moment. Diego has come out of nowhere to take a 14-12 lead on the Los Angeles Raiders. It's a complete sellout here at Jack Murphy Stadium. The only way you can see the game without a ticket is if you're in the blimp. It's the Columbia, piloted by Joel Chamberlain. And a great view of beautiful San Diego. 8:38 left. Schrader completes it to his tight end, Mike Dial, who until now had been invisible. His 13th catch of the year. Gary Plummer on the tackle.
In the second half, Jay Schrader is now just 3 of 4 for 33 yards.
There are his numbers on the night, and the 3 interceptions really stand out. But what stands out more than all the stats you will see, Chargers special team. A kickoff return for a touchdown and a partially blocked punt that set up the other touchdown. Bo. Leslie O'Neal comes from the side and pinches him down at the 44-yard line. McMahon has seen this before many times.
Yeah, he really understands what this game's all about. He's received a lot of heat for things he does off the football field, but when it comes to playing the game, he really understands what happens between the white lines, and he admitted it to me. We were talking in the locker room on Saturday, and he said, you know, one thing I know all about is how to be a professional football player, and he's exactly right. He knows how to make it happen out there.
2nd and 7. Schrader throws low, but Willie Gault comes up with it at the Charger 43-yard line. Nice catch by Gault. Good throw by Schrader. A gain of 12.
There it is again, Willie Gault. What does speed do for you? You've heard it, and I'll keep on telling you. This is against Sammy Seal, who we owned in the first game. We've seen him run outs. We've seen him run ins. We've seen him run ups. Here's a case where he runs a turnaround. Plants his foot, comes back to the ball. Jay Schrader set in the pocket. When he sets and delivers the ball, he can play with anybody. You get him moving, he has trouble.
They'll stop the clock with 6:41 to go. The clock now becoming a factor. And we don't know why Jerry Markbright did stop it. We'll try to find out. One thing to keep in mind as we get closer to the end of this game, the Raiders only have 1 timeout left. Now they are reviewing this last catch by Gault.
Why?
I don't know, but they didn't do it very long. Nope. The Raiders only have 1 timeout left. That may be a factor later. Bo. Near the 41. Gain of almost 3. This has been a pretty good mix of plays on this drive, maybe the best of the night.
Well, it has. You know, they came out, started that went through that one period where they ran the ball 11 times. That's not the Raider football. It doesn't work for them. They can't line up toe-to-toe with people. They're not good enough yet to line up toe-to-toe and just bang people around. Oddly enough, when they get in this kind of field position, I think the advantage swings to the Chargers because there's less field to have to defend, and you can get closer to the line of scrimmage.
This is the second time Bo has gone over 100 yards tonight. The first time he was caught in the backfield for a loss. Now he's gone back over 100. It won't be the last time he does it. Schrader with time throws low for Gault.
And he knew it.
And Willie was wide open again.
You know, people don't realize here's a guy who only played a couple years in college. Then he took 4 years off. from a technique standpoint, he really has had no basic fundamental understanding of how to throw a football. His footwork, he admits himself, is not very good. If he does miss people, we've said it before, he throws it into the ground. That's just a case of overthrowing.
3rd and 8. 5:39 to go. Les Miller into the San Diego defensive lineup. 4-man rush. Schrader runs out of trouble. There's a flag down on the play. Schrader all the way to the 22-yard line. The flag is back at midfield. And slow to get up, Leslie O'Neal, who was coming hard on the rush.
And where that flag is down, that's it. It's pretty much always holding against the offense.
What a huge play. Schrader's run took them into easy field goal territory.
Holding number 60. Offense. 3rd down.
Rory Graves, the left tackle.
Number 60 up against number 91, Leslie O'Neal. You see the hand get outside? Now he gets the arm around the stomach. And now he just tackles him and brings him to the ground. They'll let you get your arms out, but you got to keep them within the frame of your shoulders.
Raiders at their own 49. 3rd and 18. Clock ticking. 5:13 left. Schrader again in trouble. He's sacked this time. Leslie O'Neal with the biggest play of the game. A loss of 8.
This whole game has taken up one more notch. Rory Graves was holding last time. Now Leslie O'Neal just goes through Giesick as well as Graves. He's just a guy who's not going to be denied.
That's 6.5 sacks in the last 3 weeks for Leslie O'Neal. 10.5 on the season. He leads the AFC in that department. Brinson waiting for Gossett's punt. 4:33 to go in the game, and the Raiders have to give it up and count on their defense. Brinson at the 20. Flags are down. Brinson out to the 34-yard line. Punt of 39, a return of 14. Russell Carter down to make the tackle, and now we will check the yellow flag that we have come to expect so much on all kick returns. Still talking it over.
Holding. 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 Number 23.
I think it's holding.
3 times, huh?
Holding. Number 23.
4 times.
Chargers on the return. First
Roy
down.
Bennett.
Timeout.
4 times. That's unbelievable.
To win his 5th game out of 6 as a head coach. Dan Henning trying to win his 4th of the season. And in the last 8 weeks, he has seen his defense really come to the front. They are giving up 14 points a game in those last 8. And if your defense can play that way, you're going to win some ball games. And they've got a real shot tonight. They want to work on the clock right now. Spencer gets the call. Lowers his head and drives out to about the 24-yard line. Sports Center coming up right after our telecast. Bob Lee and Dan Patrick will bring you NFL highlights. We'll have Bo Schembechler, his thoughts at this point of the season. On the way to the Rose Bowl, and Danny Manning will talk to us about life in pro basketball. Clock ticking, 3:54 left. It's a 2-point game. Chargers with outstanding special teams have overcome 4 Jeff Jaeger field goals. 2nd and 6. And McMahon sees his players going to the wrong side of the formation and wants a timeout.
That's
That
a
is
good
the
call.
first one that they've used. Remember, the Raiders only have one left. They burned 2 early in this half.
That's a good call in a very crucial situation. You've got 2 downs to pick up 5 yards, and you don't want to have a bad play put you back at 2nd and 10. I think it's a good move by the quarterback. That's using your timeouts right.
Here's the storyline from San Diego. Jaeger with 4 field goals. That ties the club record by George Blanda, who did it 3 times. Miller with a 91-yard kickoff return. Bo with 103 yards rushing. Spencer fumbled the ball at the goal line. The Chargers got it back for him, and Spencer carried the load, a 5-yard touchdown run. Got him out of the doghouse and put the Chargers on top 14-12. And Chris Barr has kicked 2 extra points that pained him greatly. A rib injury earlier in the game. And now with 3:39 left, 2nd and 6, McMahon comes out with the play from Dan Henning.
Chargers have had the ball almost 11 minutes less. 33-50 for LA, 21-49 for San Diego, but they do have a slim 2-point lead.
Darren Nelson, number 20, is checked in. McMahon throws a wobbly one over the middle. The closest player to it was Tom Benson, the linebacker. And that stops the clock with 3:33 left.
That one had nobody home. But I'll tell you what they did is they moved him that time. That's the first time that we see McMahon actually being designed to move out of the pocket.
Statistically, not the kind of thing Jim wants to write home about. 8 out of 19, 77 yards and an interception. 3 wide receivers come in now. Miller, Holland, and Anthony Allen, number 89. Make it 4 wide out. Miller in motion. McMahon throws underneath. He's got the first down at the 35-yard line. Pass complete to Anthony Allen, who dropped one earlier. Big catch, and it keeps the drive and the clock going.
Well, what happens is, like I said, when you move somebody, you'll see the inside man. Miller comes up. He clears for him. It's almost like a little pick. Anthony Allen comes in right behind Anthony Miller, makes the reception. Now, remember, the Raiders only have 1 timeout. We're just inside 3 minutes now, so the time is against them.
First reception of the year for Anthony Allen. Spencer got a good block, then tripped over his own man, and there is a flag down on the play. That stops the clock with 2:43 to go. That may be the most painful thing about that penalty. And it's holding.
Well, I know the emotions that you go through, not only as a coach, but as a quarterback. I mean, you feel the same thing because you're out on the field.
Holding number 65, offense.
David
Holding
Richards,
65, offense.
second-year right guard out of UCLA, and that cost them 30 seconds on the clock because it won't run because of the penalty.
That's right. You know, there they are. You'll see him on right guard. He's on Bob Golick, number 65. It just as a takedown. They're just going to, if the hands get outside, they're going to call it. You know, it's one thing to line up as a quarterback and know that you got 3 downs to make a first down and only 10 yards when you're using the clock. It's another now to have to put the ball in the air at some point in time, probably, to make a first down.
Well, all you lip readers know what David Richards thought of that last call.
Well, I tried to be talking over.
2:43 to go in the game. 1st and 20 for San Diego from the 25. Spencer. They want the clock to run, and Spencer dives forward to the 28-yard line. Golick again on the tackle. Townsend was also in there. And now the Raiders use their last timeout with 2:33 to go in the game. They will get one more free one at the 2-minute warning, but they will have none if and when they get the ball back.
See, what happens is so early in this half, they had to use those 2 timeouts. Bo had to call one because the 45-second clock was running down. Schrader had to use one because the personnel substitution wasn't right. You can't just throw timeouts around like, oh, okay, I'll use it here. Sometimes it's better to take a 5-yard penalty than use up one of the timeouts, because now is when you need them.
They'd sure like to have one of them back now. McMahon talking to Dan Henning on the sideline. Joe, in this position, 2nd and 17, would you be very conservative and just keep it on the ground, considering the way the Chargers defense is played?
Yeah, I would. What's more important is what's going to happen is it's going to go to the 2-minute warning, and you're going to have 3rd down with the 2-minute warning. Then you're going to be able to run another 30 seconds off.
Right.
And if you just keep the ball, you pick up another 10 yards. The way Alyssa kicks a football, you're going to give the Raiders back the ball, knowing that they have to throw probably around their own 30 with about 1 minute and 15 seconds to go and no timeouts. I would run it here and probably run it again the next down.
Sounds like a pretty good plan. Spencer, big hole. Harden hanging on for dear life as Spencer got to the 39. This will take us down to the 2-minute warning. There's 2:23 to go. They will let this one tick down. And Spencer, who didn't get in the ball game until late, 9 carries, 50 yards. Art Shell talking it over on the Raiders sideline. It will be 3rd and 6. A first down, of course, would seal it. And there is the 2-minute warning. The Chargers hanging on by their fingernails after coming from behind to take the lead over the Raiders. Thank you, Bob. 2 minutes left from San Diego. Chargers on top by 2. It is 3rd and 6. If they make a first down, the Raiders have no way to stop the clock. If they don't make the first down, the Raiders will get the ball back. Spencer, the single setback. And he'll get to carry. First down. The Chargers knew they were going to run. The Raiders knew they were going to run, and they still got it.
That was just a question of mano and mano. I'm lining up my 5 against your 5, and that time the Charger 5. Boy, have they grown in the last 2 weeks. Holding on and making a big kick last week against Philly, and now they just run Spencer, who's just become a possessed individual. He runs right through the tackle of Zeph Lee. Here's a guy who put the ball on the ground to almost become a GOAT. Now he's becoming a hero.
The Raiders with no timeouts. And San Diego has rushed for 138 yards. McMahon goes down. He'll have to do it 1, maybe 2 more times. And the Chargers will have pulled major upsets back-to-back. Philadelphia last week, the Raiders this week. It would get them to 4 and 6 and drop the Raiders to 5 and 5, 3 games behind streaking Denver. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use without the express written consent of the National Football League is prohibited.
This has been a game, Mike, I think, where the quarterbacks were able to determine the outcome. Schrader with some key mistakes. To credit the Charger defense shutting down Bo Jackson. They knew what they had to do. The Charger defense also keeping their offense alive.
And the Charger special teams with the kickoff return for a touchdown and the partially blocked punt that set up the other. Dan Henning wins 2 weeks in a row. Gary Plummer and Bo Jackson talking to each other. What a finish for the Chargers, and what a heartbreaking loss for the Raiders.